everyone, I'm Swati from Indiahikes and you're watching Trek with Swati. Today we're talking about the difficulty of the Chandrakhani Pass trek in Himachal. Now, I have some good news for most of you watching this video. Although Chandrakhani Pass is a very old trek in our country, not many people know that it's an ideal pass climb for beginners. That's because it's not as difficult as its counterparts in Himachal like Hampta Pass or Rupin Pass. It's a lot easier in terms of the gradient and the altitude gain. So it becomes a very ideal trek for beginners who've never stepped into the Himalayas before, or even families with children or seniors who've never explored trekking before. So Chandrakhani Pass is one of those ideal pass climbs. Now, having said that, it is still a climb in the Himalayas that climbs up to 12,200 feet and you need to be prepared for it. So what are the sections you need to be prepared for? Let me give you an idea. The first and perhaps the most challenging part of this trek is the first day's altitude gain. So you're starting from this village called Rumsu and this climb is almost 3,000 feet high. So on the very first day of your trek, when you have to gain this much altitude, it's not that easy. However, this is not a very steep climb. The climb is gradual, spread over 5.5 kilometers or so, and you're climbing from around 6,500 feet to around 10,500 feet, little bit short of that. So it's a big climb, but it is spread over a gradual climb and not a very steep ascent where you're constantly on switchbacks. So it does give you the time to take rest, climb slowly, and you reach the campsite almost all the time by lunchtime or little beyond lunch. So this is the thing that will actually test you the most on this trek. After that, the next day's trek is very, very easy on the legs. It's hardly a altitude gain of less than 1,000 feet. After this is when you do the pass climb. Now at Indiahikes, we don't cross over to the other side of the pass. This is a conscious decision to make this change in the itinerary because on the other side of the pass, it is a very touristy spot and it kind of changes the entire setting of the trek and the environment. So we've made a conscious decision to come back in the same route because you're not really missing out on anything on the other side. So the day you're going to the pass and coming back is actually quite a climb. You're climbing up to around 12,200 feet. However, you're not carrying your backpack, you're just climbing with a day pack because you're going and coming back to the same campsite. So although it is around 9 kilometers, you're starting very early in the morning, it's actually a very pleasurable climb to the pass. There are a few tricky sections because you are walking on a ledge which is quite narrow and there is a drop on the other side, or you're also walking on a ridge for quite some time on this trek. But it is not so tricky that you feel like you're going to fall. It is something you have to be cautious about and you can trek comfortably over there. The views on this trek as you're walking on the ridge and the ledge are very beautiful. In May, you can expect to see some snow on this entire section, which might make the section a little more tricky. But as you progress in the season in July and August, you'll see a lot of flowers in this entire section. So it's a very, very pleasurable walk. And from the pass, which is actually a huge area where around 40-50 people can stand, it's a very nice place to actually spend some time on the pass and then come back down. So putting all this together, which is the big altitude gain on the first day over a gradual ascent and the ridge walk, ledge walk and the presence of snow if you're going early in the season, these are the things that make the trek a bit challenging. It's nothing you can't do if you prepare for it. So our recommendation is that you prepare for this trek at least for a month in advance. We have a very nice 6-week plan that we've put out on our website. You can follow that to the T. It will help you build your stamina and endurance. It will also help you gain your core body strength. We have a bunch of strengthening exercises as well. Just follow that to the T and you'll do this trek absolutely comfortably because it's one of those classic treks in Himachal that you must not miss. And I believe that it's one of the most underrated treks in our country. Not many people do it, not many people talk about it, but if you do it, you'll definitely come out loving it. So I hope this video has been helpful for you and I hope it helps you prepare for the trek. If you need further help in planning this trek out, just fill out the form that I've put in the description below. It is a form to get in touch with our trek advisors. So they will guide you on how to go about this trek, the travel, the fitness and everything else. If you need further information about Chandrakhani Pass, we have a lot of other videos on our YouTube channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. We'll be back with more soon. Thank you for watching.